Ah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of Tales of the Tempest. Woo!
Oh yeah?
Bruh.
I knew this was going to happen as soon as I did it. Yes. This episode is called, I remember things, Return to Bloodreign. Yay! This is a new D&D campaign that I am starting. We're gonna just very quickly, before we do anything, preferably, just introduce yourselves very briefly, or just your names, at least, or something. Oh, just go down the list. Scott, go!
Hello,
Whoa,
it's me, your boy.
it's Scott.
Haha.
That's it, that's Scott.
Yep.
Dave, go!
Hi.
That's Dave Skater, yes. Sam BC, go!
Hi. I'm Sam.
That's Sam. You can call him Daddy if you want. Ali, go. You can't. No.
Hello.
Okay, sorry. That's
I'm
just
Ali.
It's Ali. Awesome. Tim, go.
Hello, I'm Tim.
That's Tim. Amazing. And finally, Koi, go.
Hello, mates. My name's Coy, and I'll be playing Sylph.
You fucking Australian. But yeah, so this session is going to be a little
Like
bit
he's got one trick rage.
I woke up at 3 a.m. for this. I don't need this bullying, thank you.
Those of you who don't know, he is actually Australian. He is a numpty. But yes, so
Wow.
this session is going to be a little bit more chill than most of our D&D sessions are going to be, because we're just introducing characters, getting us into the world and ready. And yeah, that's the general gist of things. So in order to have us get into the world in a nice, normal, hopefully maybe organic way, I'm literally just going to roll a dice. Let's go. 1d6. Who's first? Tharendor and Henriel. Okay, so
Oh shit.
Henriel, you'd been told that you're going to be going to the city of Bloodreign in Blackridge. Now, you'd known this for a couple weeks, and it's up to you whether you've been excited for this, dreading this, or whatever, but you'd known that this is going to happen, and your father was definitely not taking anything but yes for an answer when it came to this. He did mention that this may be like a pretty short, it shouldn't be too long, but it may go a little bit longer since apparently some of the others may have plans. But you are going to be meeting the other Tempests, which is kind of a big deal considering you've vaguely met most of them, but past that, you've never seen all 7 Tempests in the same place. So, your room, rather large and extravagant, has all of your books strewn across it. As you are getting prepared and ready, you pack yourself a bag and everything, you hear a knock on your door.
Come in.
The door opens and you see your wood elf butler stand there. He looks surprisingly old, even for an elf.
Terence, don't just stand there. Have you got the tea?
Of course, master. I have the tea.
Well, hurry up and come in.
He slowly comes in and he has like 2 cups of tea there. He's like, which one would you like? We have soothing jasmine and chamomile. Which would you prefer?
I just stare at him blankly. I'm just like, Terence, I didn't ask for either of these teas. I asked for caramel. Okay? Go,
But,
fetch me the tea.
of course, sir.
And on your way back, bring me some of those the little like beef scones they do here. They're disgusting, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, sir. Disgusting in a good way.
Yes. Okay. Get on with it. Why are you still here?
You see him very quickly turn around and make his way out of the room. As he leaves, he almost bumps into your father, who stood there, and he kind of goes, Terence, seriously.
Father,
Get a
hello.
hold of yourself.
I
Pats
sort
him on
of.
the back.
I don't know what to do with him anymore, Father. I've tried everything, flogging, humiliate. I don't know.
No. We're not. No, that's far too uncivilized. We'll just, send him off back to wherever the hell he is from, somewhere. I think he has a farm or something. We'll send him off with a couple of coins, and we'll just get a new butler. That'll work.
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of tired of new ones, but sure, for now.
They've got to
Anyway.
be better than Terrence.
And why is it I am graced with my father's presence on such a fine day here? Is it Blackridge we're in?
We're going to be going to Blackridge.
We're going to
So you're
Blackridge,
currently
okay.
still at home in Arvendor.
Okay.
Now. We're going to be going to Blackridge, Bloodreign specifically, but initially I was intending to just make the journey myself. It shouldn't take too long. Not that big of a deal, especially with our, money, of course. But for some reason, my good friend, we'll say, Corfel, has decided he wants to teleport us in directly. So whenever you're ready, I'll send him the message.
Father, I have to say I was going to decline if I had to take horse and carriage one more time across this fucking country.
Well, you see, it would have been horse and carriage, and then it would have been a boat, and then it would have been horse and carriage again.
Stop there, Father. Teleportation circle. Far better. I need to get out of this stuffy room, he says as his voice echoes around the cavernous room.
Well then, whenever you're ready, I've got all of my stuff packed, and you see he kind of, from beside, he pulls a tiny little bag with it looks like it definitely would not fit anywhere near enough stuff, but he's still just got that tiny little bag, and that's it.
I have to say, studying has been incredibly difficult lately. I need to get away. Would you mind, Father? I had a favor to ask. Would you put a word in with the Dean for me? I'm looking for some ups on some grades this year, if you don't mind.
You see that he's a little bit iffy this year, when after his daughter went and got herself lost and all. He's really
she's
not
probably
having
dead.
it. I mean, and she definitely is, let's be honest. She was
Just need
very...
to get over it, honestly. I just need to get through this course, get out of my final sect of education at the High School of Bardic Knowledge, and graduate into the law college. That's all I want to do, and so many people are just in the way, Father.
This is true. It'll be fine. We'll take a quick holiday, come back, and then all I'll do is just, threaten his wife, and it'll all be good. Sorry, threaten.
The usual,
no. Sometimes I forget myself. It would... Perhaps a better word would be more useful. Suggest
Swayed,
that his wife
Father?
could be, thrown into a Fey portal for several months. In the bad way. The bad part, of course.
Huh.
The downtown
There's a bad
Fey
part?
portal.
Oh,
course there's a bad
downtown Fae. Never heard of it.
Well, yes, obviously we only go to the one at the top of the mountain, but there's a couple of other smaller Fey portals that, you can open every once in a while.
Oh,
and they
now
send
you
to
mention
different
it.
places.
Now you mention it, Gladriel at the college, she mentioned something about them doing incredible Chinese food in downtown Fae.
Well, it's a little bit difficult to get your hands on that without, all of the red caps trying to, cut your legs off. But you can get it.
I suppose.
It's pretty good. Okay. Well, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Father. I'll be down in. When are we going? Tomorrow? Today? Later?
No, but
I'm ready to go.
as soon
I
as
packed
possible.
light.
Now, if we can.
Oh, I'm ready to go. I have a bag.
Okay. Give me a second.
It's just there. I travel often. You know this, Father.
You see him stare off into the distance for a second, and then he goes, "Okay," and he puts a hand out to you while he's holding his bag. He puts a hand out towards you.
Oh yes. Sorry. I take his hand.
You take his hand, and then a portal effectively appears in front of you, and without you even moving, you see the air around you. It kind of grows to encompass you entirely in a large dome. You see swirling blues, oranges, purples. Majority of it's blue and white though. And as this portal encompasses you, it kind of swirls around you in a large it feels like you're in the middle of a hurricane for a brief second until eventually the floor just disappears from below you and then it reappears floor up. The world almost gets built around you, and you find yourself in this black stone room. Rather, not quite as spacious as your own room, but still quite spacious. It looks to be about 40 foot by 40 foot, large circular room with lots of sigils across the floor. You see a pale man, looks like he's a definitely elven. You've met him once or twice before, but not too often. Dark black hair, who has his hand, like a gloved hand on the floor. He kind of looks up to you and goes, "Oh, welcome."
Oh, Corfell, is it? Corfell?
Yes, and you're Henriel, right?
Yes, correct. And you know my father, obviously.
I should hope he knows me.
I mean, I don't know why I'm doing the introductions here.
No, I know. It's
Father?
well, Corfell, you said we're getting room and board and all of that business. Get on with it. Not a servant, thank you. But yes, I will. You see, he walks over to one side of the room, places a hand down again, and you see the floor kind of slowly like moves its way down to make a set of stairs that begin allowing you to make your way down the tower. You have been here before. This is the tower, Corfell's tower in Bloodreign, but it does look marginally better than the last time you were here. And by that I mean it's like there's still just shit everywhere. Like you, even on this floor, there's like books on the side of everything. There's random pieces of equipment here and there. There's like random weapons and stuff every once in a while. But it seems like for the most part, rather than it being cleaned up, it seems like it just like at the very least, it looks like the top of the tower's finally built, and that's enough. But this is where we are going to cut to somebody else, as they are going to be getting themselves into the trouble of this situation as well. That is Esmeralda and Fate. Okay, so Fate, you are currently in a tavern. And you have been like a little bit traveling for a little bit on your way towards Bloodreign, and it's kind of like almost late. Like for all of you, it's vaguely like later into the night. It's not like too late. It's like 9 p.m. The sun has just vaguely set, and you were getting yourself ready to collect yourself to go up to one of the rooms in the tavern. Your mother kind of sat there absent-mindedly, and you see she kind of looks like it seems like she looks off into the distance for a second, and then she kind of turns to you and goes, "Faith, dear, it appears we have been summoned."
Mother, by who?
Well, a friend. We were on our way to Bloodreign to meet the others. It seems Corfell wants us there as soon as possible, and he's set up for a teleportation.
Well, Mother, I've never seen teleportation, and I'm very intrigued. But, Mother, did we pack?
Well, it might be a good idea to go collect our stuff first before we go. Let's go do that now.
No. I insist. You sit. I'll go pack the things.
Won't take too long if it's the both of us.
No, I insist.
Fate, come on, let's just get it done. And you see she
Fine,
gets
Mother.
up and makes her way up towards the stairs. You see the barkeep kind of like shouts over, guys going for the night? And your mother kind of stops for a second and turns, and then pulls out a platinum coin and flicks it to him and goes, "We'll be going for good. Your room will be free. Thank you for your hospitality." And then she continues back upstairs. The barkeep looks very stunned as he scrambles to pick up the platinum piece from off the table. Do you follow your mother?
I follow my mother, but I look back at the barkeeper and I motion with my hand, "I'm sorry," and I go.
Mm-hmm. He seems like very, very invested in looking at this platinum piece. But you eventually make your way up to the room, and it is like it's effectively just a room with 2 beds in it, like one room. And within you hadn't really like unpacked as much, so there was only like a few things that you really needed to collect together in the first place. You hadn't really been staying here for too long. But within like about 5-10 minutes, you do manage to collect all of your stuff together. Your mother turns to you and goes, "Wait, this is going to be a bit of a odd feeling when it happens, but whenever you're ready, collect your stuff with you on yourself, and then you're going to hold my hand. And then I will tell Corfel to teleport us.
Mother, I've never seen you concerned like this.
It should be no concern. It's just, it's a bit odd that he asked us to teleport when we are already so close. You guys are like, not too far out. You're like a town or two away, and it would only take you like a couple days to get there. But it seemed kind of odd that he's just like teleporting you in.
Alright, Mother. I trust you.
He kind of looks off into the distance for a second, and then puts out a hand to you.
I reach out and then stop halfway.
Mhm.
And then I feel this weird, ominous feeling.
Mhm.
But then I quickly grip her hand.
You grip her hand, and as your hands are gripped, she kind of smiles to you and goes, "Don't worry. It may feel a bit odd the first time, but it's probably for the best." And as she says that, you see this swirling portal appear in front of you, and it kind of just engulfs the entire area around you, much the same as the portal did with Henrielle. The portal basically creates this large dome around you, and then it's almost like the world around you just dissipates from under you as it slowly weaves its way around you, making this large like dome that you're standing on. The dome kind of shimmers and changes very briefly, and then as it does, it kind of slowly opens up from the front, closing around the back of you, and like the magic seems to dissipate. And once again, you see not once again. Well, you've never teleported like this, but you've been to this room very briefly. But it's kind of odd realizing that that's what these sigils on the floor are probably for, as there's like several sigils in this large circle that all seem to like slowly lose their glow as you see Corfel with his like black gloved hand take his hand away from the floor and look up to you guys and goes, "It's good that you guys are here. To be honest, I was expecting some of the others to get here first or respond first, but it's good. Arendor and Henrielle are downstairs already. If you would like to, I'm just going to be bringing more people in. It has been a while, Rilda." He kind of nods, and then like after a second, she just walks up and hugs him, and you see he just like seems extremely uncomfortable with it for a second, and then he like lightly pats her on the back, goes, "And how are you, Fate?"
It's been long, Corfel, but I'm doing well.
It has. Make yourself at home. He kind of points like over to like a stack of books. But some of those should maybe be a little bit interesting if you're inclined. And then he kind of, Esmeralda, like slowly lets go of him. Goes, "It's been a very long time. It's good to see you as well. Guess we should catch up with Darendor though." And she begins making her way down the steps. And do you follow her?
No, I don't follow her. I stay up. I try to learn the teleportation runes and study them and bury myself in the books.
Okay. As like you see him like pausing for a second, he kind of, you're standing like vaguely near it, and he goes, "Oh, you might want to step a little bit back. This is a bit of odd magic. There's several things to it. Standing too close, there's a chance you could get teleported yourself somewhere horrible. It's not very nice, but it should be just a little bit further back."
I heed his warning. I step one small step back, but I'm too infatuated in the book that I'm in.
As you like flick through this book, you see like over the book, all of the sigils begin to light up in a circle away from him, and as they do, it's almost like this beam of blue light appears, makes its way to the top of this dome, and then slowly creates this dome in the center. And that is where we're going to cut to the next person coming through the portal. So it's going to be a D4 this time. 1. That is Virian and Lysanthe. So, you guys have been kind of vaguely also traveling in the general direction of the Bloodreign again. And you've been in Blackridge for a little while. And instead of being like in like a specific tavern or anything, you guys are just on the road currently, set up in like tents. When you like your father, kind of just absent-mindedly tending to some of his old wounds, kind of looks to you and goes, "Boy, an old friend has contacted me. You remember Corfell, right?"
I do, father.
Good. For some reason he thinks it's probably best if we teleport in. I have to tell you, it's a very uncomfortable process, and it really messes with my mojo sometimes. But he thinks it's that important.
If he believes it to be important, we must make haste.
It's true. This is true. Yeah, I mean, he said he had a reason for the Tempests to collect. I didn't really think it was that important, other than just meeting everybody up. Though, considering Corfell, probably a big deal.
I shall pack up the tents.
Probably a good idea. You see, he like puts his top back on and then helps you begin packing up the tents and the other stuff. Within about half an hour or so, you guys have collected everything. And he's basically got it all, like, mostly like in packs on his back and stuff like that, and the rest of it is like given to you to carry. He then goes, "Whenever you're ready, let me know. Grab onto my hand, and then we'll go."
Just take his hand.
You take his hand, and he pauses for a second, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not sure I'm ready just yet. Okay, give me a second." Oof. And then you see him look off into the distance while nodding his head. And then he kind of like braces, and then you see, like the others did, this port, like it's almost like a slit in front of you opens up into this blue light that swirls in front of you, that slowly makes its way all the way around you, encompassing you as a circular dome on the top, and then it kind of seeps down into the floor, covering the floor and the feet, like under your feet. The swirling portal, you feel the wind across yourself, even though you're completely covered up. You, at the very least, you see like your clothes moving very obviously. And then afterwards, you see the slit like reopen in front of you, and now you seem to be in the like Corfell's Wizard Tower. The last time you were here, you're almost certain that this room had no roof, which is now it definitely does. And you see Fate stood there with a book, kind of just reading it in the corner, while Corfell seems to be like his hand on the floor. He slowly gets up and goes, "Oh, you made it. I contacted you guys first, and you kind of took a little bit of time. No problem though. Are you guys okay?" You see, your father kind of pauses for a second. "Give me a second. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. I'm gonna. No. Okay. I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And you see him slowly, like, walk over, shake Corfell's hand very, like, strongly. And then after shaking his hand, goes, "Good to see you again, Corfell." Pats him on the back. "Where are the rest of them?" Corfell looks and goes, "Most of them are downstairs." Collected themselves vaguely. "It's just Tharandor and Esmeralda and Tharandor's son Henriel right now. Okay, I think the others will be coming soon. I haven't really got any responses just yet." He kind of looks to you and then goes, "Oh, Miriam, how are you?"
I am doing better than my father. Pleasure to see you again. And he'll shake his hand too.
Shakes your hand. You see his handshake is like not very strong, not a very firm handshake. But he does like shake your. It's not like a limp fish or anything. It's like a proper handshake, but it just doesn't have much grip to it. You see, like your father, Lysantha, then go, "Fate, you alright? Been a while as well."
I look up to him and take a good look at him up and down, and then go back to my book.
exactly the same as always. And he just makes his way down the stairs.
I will then proceed to follow him.
Okay, cool. All right, 3 people left. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Cool. This is Sylph and Valera. Sylph, you are sat down for dinner across the table from Valera. It is a long, relatively long table, but effectively like, rather than like at the heads of the table, you guys are just across the table from each other, not too far away.
Yep.
Your food has been put out for you. It's rather like your servants have set it all up nice and easily, and your food seems to just be mostly greenery, and it's not anything really inspired. And all of the good stuff you'd already eaten by this point. You see Valera kind of is looking away absent-mindedly for the majority of this, and then she kind of looks up to you and goes, "Oh, thank God. Something interesting has come up. It seems that Corfell wants to teleport us instead of like any other way. I mean, we have our own teleportation scrolls, and we have scrolls, but that's effort. We also have our own wizards that we could teleport with, but I mean, I guess
He
if you
just
want to do
tilts
it.
his head. Mother, can you not teleport yourself?
I mean, obviously I can, but I don't want to waste a spell slot teleporting when I can do other stuff. No point in teleporting when I can, I don't know. It's not like I use them most days anyway.
He just nods.
Were you packed or anything? I know I told you a couple of weeks ago, but I kind of haven't reminded you.
I have a bag already prepared.
Oh, good. Well, how about this? And then she just clicks her fingers, and you get the brief sensation of like an odd, weird feeling of just falling, and you see the world around you turn to like a blue very briefly, and then you just find yourself standing in the room, like in the main room, in front of Corfell.
I was sitting down, right?
Yeah, you were sitting down.
So I just fall on my ass.
Yep. You fall on your ass in front of him. Corfell looks up and goes, I hadn't even begun teleporting you yet. You alright?
Just stand up. Oh, there's a warning next time, please.
You see your mother isn't currently with you right now.
Oh, look around. Sorry. Hi.
Odd.
I want to die.
Jesus Christ, loud noises in my ears. Thank you for the raid, Emmy. Jesus, scaring the living shit out of me. Wonderful. But yeah, right. Yeah, but then as you like look up behind you, you see your mother then just appear, holding your bag and then a bag of her own, and she kind of just throws them both in your general direction.
Grab them. Stand up.
You're right, Corfell? I'm fine. I could have just realized it takes no effort for me to teleport you myself. Yes, but then he started getting into, oh, you can just teleport yourself. Why don't you just teleport yourself? And then I was like,
it as an insult.
fine, I must teleport myself. There's no reason for me to not teleport myself. Eesh, children these days. You see Corfell look very confused for a second, and then she goes, it's good to see you, Corfell. She kind of just walks up and then goes for a hug and then pauses for a second and just lightly pats him on the shoulder. And then she just begins walking down the stairs without another word. Corfell kind of looks to you and goes, you were right. Look like you kind of hurt your ass.
Taken or worse pounding before. Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Fair enough.
It's good to see you, Kothel.
Oh my god.
Or he looks like vaguely confused for a second.
That was a joke. I haven't done anything.
No, I realize that. The rest are pretty much all downstairs, and then obviously you can see Fate is there. I mean, still
hey,
waiting
hey.
on a couple. Play.
Well,
Oh.
I suppose I'll go converge with the rest.
But yeah, seemingly get no response from Fate as you go, hey, as she seems to be reading a book.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did you say my name?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything. I look again. I look up to him, up and down, and go back to my book.
Talkative as always. Well, just head downstairs or upstairs.
Yeah, it's
Whichever
downstairs.
direction it is.
Yeah, you head your way downstairs. Now there is 2 people left to teleportation jutsu in. See who we get. Alright. Davis, you and your father are currently doing what you tend to do best. You are up north, as you always are, chilling out in the cold, and you've just had to deal with a band of absolute imbecile bandits who thought for some goddamn reason it'd be a clever idea to try and rob the 2 biggest guys they've ever seen. And it effectively went in the way of, hands up, I'm gonna rob you. And your father, like, literally very slowly walking over, grabbing the crossbows that they were holding and just crushing them one by one. And then after that going, you're sure you're going to rob us? Really? And then them all just, like, looking at him, scared. And then he kind of turns to you and goes, Davis, that one back there, I'm pretty sure he just shut his pants. What do you think we should do with them?
Sorry. Just chase them away.
Oh, that can be done easy enough. And you see he turns back to them and just goes, and you see they all just go, sorry, and they just begin running off. Alright. What are you thinking for dinner? I'm thinking either a deer or maybe several rabbits.
I think deer.
Deer? You do that. Let's get to that. And then he pauses for a second and then goes, huh. Weird. Is all of your stuff packed?
No.
Well, hurry up and get it packed. Remember we were going to see the other Tempests? Thought it was going to be a little while. Probably we're going to be late, let's be honest. But, seems one of our old friends, Corfell, wants to just teleport us in. Pressing issue or something.
I'll fetch the stuff.
You see, you get to fetching the stuff. It takes you a couple minutes. And then, after you're done fetching the stuff, you see your father has come back and he's just got a deer in his hands. He's like just straight up grabbed a deer and he just breaks its neck. Alright, this should do for dinner anyway. Throws it over his shoulder. Are you ready? All the stuff packed?
Yep.
Puts a hand out. Hold on, boy.
Grab his hand.
Grab his hand. And then as per the rest of them, this line of blue appears in front of you. It slowly shimmers out, encasing you in this large blue shimmering dome that seems to like have like energy to it, and you feel the wind around you as if, which is kind of odd since there was barely any wind outside right now. And then the dome completely encases you and like almost seeps through the like beneath you across the floor. And then after it's done, it kind of slowly repeals open from in front of you, revealing this like large black circular room, and this pale elven man stood like hand on the floor across from you. He kind of looks up and goes, Goraglath, good to see you. And David, was it?
Davith.
Davith. Sorry. Been a while. Goraglath just kind of pauses for a second and then goes, I brought a deer. And Corfell just, why would you bring a, what are we going to do with a deer? I brought a deer. I thought we could make a dinner of it. I don't know. I brought a deer. You just, I don't know how to cook a deer. You just chuck it in a pot or something, I don't know. Where are we going to find a pot that's big enough for a deer? I don't know. You're the wizard. He just walks up and then like throws the deer on the floor next to him and goes, "It's good to see you, though, Corfell," and just picks him up into like a hug. And he's like, "Okay. This is, oh, I'm fragile. Please hold on. Okay." And he just gets like squished for a second, and then you see his face go like bright red, and then he places Corfell down. Where are the others? And then he kind of looks over and goes, "Oh, hello, Fate. Good to see you as well."
I immediately close the book and look at him with great excitement. Loroglath, the man I wanted to see. And I go to him. I hold his hand, like his fingers with both of my arms, and I walk to him. So I've heard this experiment that involves your skin and blood. And as I was talking, I was walking down with him.
You
Walking
just end
through
up
him.
leading him off
Yeah.
down the stairs. He seems like very confused for the entire time, but he just kind of follows you. Corfell kind of turns to you and then goes, "Please don't hug me. How have you been doing, at least?" Understandable. And then he goes, "You might want to move off from there. It's going to start teleporting people as well."
Okay. Well, I just go and pick up the head downstairs.
Just grab the deer onto your shoulder and
grab the
begin
deer.
making your way downstairs. There is a
Yeah.
very obvious fresh blood mark on the floor. Not a big one. It's just a little one. And you see Corfell go to put his hand down, and then see like where he's going to put his hand down, and he takes out a little handkerchief and just cleans up the blood as you're working off. All right, and then we have finally Eldrin and Derek. Eldrin, you have been effectively just making your way through the wilderness as you tend to do, just taking some time to yourselves, as Derek seemed to be kind of a bit agitated that like some of the other wood elves haven't been listening to him recently. So he's just been spending some time communing in the woods as per usual. You see him kind of pause for a second as he's just been like relaxed communing, like just chilling and everything. He kind of looks to you and goes, "Eldrin, may have a situation." Any response?
What's the situation here?
Do you remember Corfell?
That weird wizard?
Yeah. I believe he wishes to teleport us to his tower, considering we were going to be late. But we're definitely not going to be late, don't worry. You got your stuff collected?
Should be easy, yes. 2 seconds for me.
Okay. Well, take your time doing that. I'll get us there. You see him like collect the very few things he has. And then as you're like as you are getting yourself ready to like go, you see him walk up to a tree, and you've seen him do this before. He kind of puts his hand, like makes a my brain, Jesus, few quick motions, and then after the few quick motions, the tree begins to like slowly open, like as if it's like the tree, like effectively a large crevice in the tree appears, and it kind of just looks like it opens up into another tree, right? And as like he does that, he then pauses for a second and goes, "This is going to get us somewhere that he can teleport us a little bit easier." And he just walks through the tree, the hole in the tree. And you effectively see that he's basically put you guys to a slightly, like, another tree branch somewhere else, a little bit further away, off the ground, higher up into the trees. Cool. Do you follow him?
I follow him.
Follow him. He collects, like, after you've collected all of your stuff, you follow him, and you see him like sat on one of the tree branches and goes, going to be honest, I mostly lied. This is mostly just because I'd wanted to take one quick look over the forest before we left.
Where are we going then?
Bloodreign. Back to Blackridge. We're going to meet the other Tempests. I think I mentioned this before, but well, not necessarily something I wish to talk about too often. Let's be honest. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
He puts a hand out to you as you're holding your bags. You taking his hand?
I put all my bags in one hand somehow, and I take his hand.
You just like put it over one shoulder in order to take his hand. And as you do, you see, instead of like with everybody else, it's been like in front of them, this portal seems to be appearing. Your portal actually appears below you. And then as it appears below you, it basically creates a full dome around you. And then you see the tree branch that you guys are stood/sitting on just disappear from under you. And you're briefly floating for a second before it peels open, this large blue like dome of energy. And as that opens, you find yourselves in this large room like the rest of them all have. You see Corful stood across from you. He finally pauses for a second. Like, you see he has like a bloody handkerchief that he's like stuffing into one of his pockets as he's like stood up. And he looks to you and goes, "Oh, good to see you both again. It has been a long, long while actually to see the two of you. How are you doing?"
Good to see you again, Corful. What's the smell I smell here? It smells like blood.
Well, Laura Glath decided to bring a dead deer for some reason. I don't know what he expected. I think he expected us to eat it, but I don't really have any tools to cook a deer that size in one go. I don't know. What goes through that man's head, I will never understand. You see Eldrin kind of just nods at him and then goes, "Where are they?" They're all downstairs. Mostly. Actually, I believe everybody is downstairs now. He kind of pauses and thinks for a second. Okay, yes. After you guys. You see he kind of like stops, like he kind of disassociates for a second, and you see him just like looking off into the distance and thinking. And then after like that, he kind of goes, "Oh yeah, cool. After you." Your father leads first down the set of stairs. Are you following?
I just follow my father and don't pay mind to him zoning off.
Yeah, you follow your father, and at this point, the rest of you have all like had a quick second to like meet each other, but it's been literally like the space of a couple seconds between each of you getting down here. In this room, seems like there is a large like round table that has a map of the area of Blackridge on it. So I will pull us to the map of Blackridge to get a general idea of what you're seeing in front of you. This large map... Give me a second. Yep. This large map in the middle of the table is surrounded by a bunch of chairs. In total, there are 14 chairs. And each of them, like, people just kind of seem to be taking a seat in specific places. They're just taking a random seat, it seems, more than anything. As you guys are getting in, people are just sitting down around it. Eventually, everybody makes their way into this like large room with this table with the region of Blackridge on it. And a couple of seconds later, Corful comes down. You've barely had like a time to really be like, "Oh hi, how's stuff?" because everybody's literally just been coming in straight, like one after the other, pretty quickly. Corful makes his way into the room, goes to take a seat, and then realizes that the seat is currently taken by Laura Glath, and he goes, "Oh, that's fine." Moves around to the other side of the table, takes a seat down. You will all notice that there is a seat that is empty. And then he kind of turns to all of you and goes, "So how is everybody? It's been a while." Guys? Guys? And you see, like, all of the other Tempests are all just kind of looking at him very confused. Until, eventually, it is Valera who kind of pipes up and goes, wasn't there a reason you summoned us so quickly? We were all going to come here eventually, weren't we? Well, I was mostly just missing my friends, to be honest. It's been a really long time to have them all here. I thought it'd be a nice thing to have them all come at about the same time.
Ugh. I've been dragged here for this. A little reunion. Father, you told me this was going to be exciting.
Well, I thought it was going to be exciting, and then, I don't know. Tell me, Corfel, there's got to be some reason that this is... Like, this has got to be more than just this, right? Well, there was sort of some stuff that was going on. Well, I mean, there's going to be the festival starting tomorrow in our name. That's kind of exciting, right? There was a situation I did want to talk about, but he kind of looks to Lysanthe, and Lysanthe kind of looks at him, and you see they kind of hold a gaze for a second, and then he goes, probably best if it's just the Tempests who hear this conversation, though. You see Valera then...
Alright.
Yep.
We'll leave.
Okay. You just leave.
You just begin, like, you see that there's another set of stairs that, like, starts at basically the same place, making its way down.
Are there any, like, guards, like, guarding the doors?
There doesn't
or
seem to
anything,
be any guards in this.
I just... Corfel, this is Corfel's place, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Corfel, the sauna, where was it again? Fifth floor?
It's below
Give
ground
it a good
now.
scotch.
Oh, below grounds. Any idea?
You can take any of the alcohol from the second floor if you'd like.
Perfect. Thank you, Corfel.
and as-
Finally, some hospitality.
As Corfel says that, you hear Valera say, "No, you won't."
I run.
Jesus.
I'm gone. I'm going down the stairs.
Self! She
Follow
just
me.
stands up for a second,
I just lead the way.
and as, like, you two run off, she then just, like, begrudgingly slowly sits down. Fine.
Stand up, bury him, walk away.
You bow and walk away. Laura Glath puts a hand on your shoulder, Davith, and goes, "You better get absolutely smashed tonight.
You bet.
And leave me some of the good scotch."
It's
Not
gonna
a
be
chance, you hear from down the hallway.
Kids.
Just hoist the deer. Stanley.
As you hoist the deer, he kind of goes, "Hey, don't leave that, come on."
It's mine now.
Fine. Fine. But if you're going to cook it up, you better leave me some.
Fine. And just leaves.
You see, Valera then, like, after, like, having that moment of anger and everything, just kind of slowly sits down, and goes, "Fine. Guess you two should maybe follow them." And she looks to Fate and goes, "Fate, I'm putting Sylph in your hands. I see him absolutely drunk. I'm mostly going to blame him, but I'd like you to hopefully try and keep him a little bit more... Just at the very least, if he's going to get drunk, don't let him get drunk on the town. Keep him in the tower."
Me and Soph have already done at least 4 shots. At this point.
Yeah.
I look at Valera and say, "You're acting as if they're not done it already."
Keep them in the
I s-
tower. That's all I ask.
I sigh and I say, "I've had dresses with higher IQ," and I go up.
And then Eldrin, your father, kind of goes, "Well, you should probably go with them as well."
I put my hand up to the tear and mutter some words. And then I leave for the library.
Okay. So, Okay, so the rest of you are making your way downstairs, and this is currently like the 6th level, and so you basically make your way down all of the levels along the way.
The second to get the alcohol, and then to the basement for the sauna.
Basement for the sauna. You get to the 3rd level, and you all find a very familiar face stood holding several bottles of like what looks like various potions, kind of moving them all around. It's a large troll-like being who has a belt with several different potions all attached to his belt. He seems to be like scratching his head with one hand and scratching his bum with the other. He kind of like hears you guys coming down and goes, "Oh, hello guys.
Bob!
Fuck off out the way, Bob, and I just push past him.
Oh, careful!" And you see him like kind of like he kind of like doesn't really move too much, but you see him like almost drop a potion and then like fumble to grab it.
Can't talk my strength.
Okay. As you guys are going, like slowly making your way past, he goes, "Oh, the code this time is, I think, 2222."
You hear a scream as Henry put in the wrong code from the last time he was here.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit.
This is not gonna be good.
I have proficiency in dex saves.
Oh, big proficiency in dex save. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see. I must double check something. Okay, you just about pass this as you as you go to open it, you just hear intruder, and then like a puff of smoke puffs towards you for a second. You manage to like
duck.
you like dodge out the way and hold your breath, and it seems to dissipate, and then you see like the lock twizzle itself and just reset itself.
Ugh, what was it? 2222?
Think
I
so.
chime in and say it's 22222.
I just tap 2 until it opens.
You tap 2 repeatedly, and then eventually you hear a as the metal casing opens, and you find like there is just a bunch of different types of alcohol in here. There's there's wines at the top, and then there's like whiskeys, and then there's like vodkas and gins along a layer. But there doesn't seem to be like yes, there's a faint glow as it opens.
I prestidigitation a little glow from the cupboard.
Oh fuck's sake! And then as it like as you like begin looking down, you see. That's odd. There's only alcohols, and there's no like mixers or anything. Nothing of the sort. Just alcohols.
Scotch. I want scotch.
There's scotch. Yes. It's on
Mixers
A lot of bottle of scotch.
Mixers are for moon elves and pussies, and I'm not sure if there's much of a distinction here. Start handing these out.
Yep. And 1 bottle to everyone.
You hand a bottle 1 to everybody.
I make sure I secure the finest
Mhm.
of the batch for myself.
Very him
Roll,
wave his bottle away.
roll an
Really
investigation check for me.
I'm good at those. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yeah. With that, you kind of look through them and go, "I think this is the best I'm gonna get." And it seems like most of these are kind of, they're not terrible,
These are all
but they're not.
shitty fucking.
They're not your value. Like they're nowhere
shitty
near as
fucking
good as
moon
yours.
elf brews.
You think the majority of like the wines seem to be elven. Some of them, not all of them. All of the vodka and all of the gin seems to come from a totally different country. You take a second to like ponder for it, but with that
I just
investigation,
secure the elven stuff and pass
secure the
off
elven
the
stuff. Yeah. It seems to come from Nimia, which is quite a distance away.
Definitely pass that off. I give that to fucking David.
And
He'll
then
drink anything, I'm sure.
it seems like most of the other stuff is like Jaskorian alcohol. And from like just a general thought that you would know, the Jaskorian stuff is probably the worst.
I give that to Eldrin.
He's not here, he's in the library.
Yeah,
he's in the library.
Eldrin stopped off like a layer like or 2 before you guys before even Bob the troll, and you see, Eldrin, there is like a layer of this, like, it's a large library here, but as you were kind of like making your way down these levels, the library is filled to the brim, but it seems like all of the levels so far have just had a shit ton of books just like laying around it anyway. And this definitely is like, there's definitely not enough space. Like, all of the different bookshelves around, all along the walls, all a bunch in the middle. There is still like books on top of them. There's still books stacked in front of them. There seems to be books just like literally fucking everywhere. Is there any particular books you're looking for specifically?
No, I'm trying to find an interesting book, so I make my way down and check every book. So right now I'm almost at the bar.
Okay. You kind of take a quick look through, and after a couple of things, you get to the layer with Bob the Troll after everybody else has made their way through. And Bob goes, "Oh, hello. The rest of them are down there if you want, with all the drinks." And he kind of pauses for a second and goes, he looks around, and you see him walks across, and then he kind of pulls out like a large, like, it's like a large circle. I forgot what the name of them are, but it's like the chemical bottles with a large like circular bottom.
Erlenmeyer.
Sure. And it's filled with like a blue liquid, and he goes, can you do me a favor? Can you like test if this explodes when you put a drop of alcohol in it, please?
I will make sure to have someone test it when they're drunk enough.
Cool. And he just hands it to you. And the rest, all of you are currently on the second floor with the alcohol right now. Is there anything else you guys want to do before heading off down to the sauna?
And so I says to her, "That's not how you butt chug." Here, Sylph, take this. Take this. Sylph,
I take it. Swig.
Sylph, I feel like you're the only one here with a sense of dignity or class.
Well, I just like to have fun. That's all.
I think we'll get on, Sylph. As for the rest, I don't know. Anyway, back up with the bong, with the booze, I suppose.
Are you guys heading down
back
to the
up
sauna?
towards we'll get everyone and go to the sauna.
Okay.
I put back my alcohol bottle.
Same.
I didn't drink it.
Fuck that. Taking mine with me.
Okay.
At this point, I walk in.
Mhm.
Hey, Harry, I've got an experiment you can use.
What? Who said that?
Over here.
Which one? Your which one again?
Yes.
Fucking the Theric's son, yes, the wood elf boy. Fine. What is it?
I've got this fancy blue water here. Do you mind dropping in some alcohol as a mix?
Right here, take this, and I just pass him that shit troll piss stuff.
I try to convince him for him to put it in instead of me.
Okay.
Should I roll an insight check or?
Sure. Roll a deception check. I'd say Eldrin, and then you roll an insight, Henry.
Okay.
Oh,
First nap of the campaign. Let's go.
Oh!
Oh.
So how does this work?
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that you see Eldrin go to hand it to you, and you see a grin on his face, and it's kind of difficult for you to tell whether this is a grin of like, this is going to be good, or this is going to fuck you. And you kind of think, like, look at him for a second, and you're just like, I don't know which one of these it is.
I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 and a 2, I'll do it. 3 and a 4, I won't.
oh, there you go.
Yes.
I like my eyes just narrow, and I just extend my arm with the shit alcohol, and I just slightly pour it in.
So you have a bottle that looks like it's some sort of rum, and it is literally just got a very shitty label on the front that says "Troll's Piss Rum." And you pour a little bit into this blue bottle, and I'm gonna roll a dice. Let's see. Roll. A D100.
Oh shit.
100 are dead.
Okay,
damage.
okay. Okay. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. You see the liquid turn from blue as this like dark rum drips into it to a pink color. And it seems to be like a very pleasant looking pink color. And that's like, and as you look at it, you see not only does it like change color, it seems like there are like bits that seem to appear in the liquid as it like you swirl it for a second, and it gives off a very nice but faint smell of strawberries.
Is that it, Eldrin?
Give it back. I'll have to perfect it. And I take it back, and I hope he doesn't remember.
I just I just totally just like sigh and just start walking towards the sauna.
On with him.
Okay, we'll do Eldrin first. So are you going back to Bob the Troll?
Yes.
Okay, you make your way back up to Bob the Troll. You find him like pouring one liquid into another, and then he just gets a burst of like steam into his face, and he kind of just blinks for a second, and then turns to you and seems to be looking straight past you and goes, who's there? I can't quite see right now.
Hello, Bob. It's Eldrin.
You've blighted
Hello.
Bob.
What is going on here, Bob?
Sorry, I just mixed my brews, it seems.
Mixed my brews.
You see him like slowly blink again, and then he kind of begins to focus on you. I think I can see you a bit now. Yeah. What's up?
The liquid you gave me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a bit more luck than you.
Oh, that's good. Give it here. And he like pulls out a large, like his hand is like large, green, and kind of like almost looks a little bit goopy, and his nails seem like long, very uncut, and quite dirty. Kind of just holds it in your general direction.
I give him the liquid back without trying to touch his hand.
He like kind of like you manage to get it into his hand without touching it, and he slowly brings it back, and then you see him just glug 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 the entire thing, and then he pauses for a second and goes, "Oh, it tastes just like home." Oh. Oh, thank you. I was just trying to perfect my sewer potion. Wanted it to taste like home.
I've used troll piss.
You're a genius.
Yeah, well, that should be it for tonight. If you guys need any help, you see he's like very obviously looking just past you, not directly at you. You need any help? I'll be here. Thank you.
No, we won't. You hear from down the corridor.
I tell Bob to take some rest.
All right. So where exactly were you going? Sorry.
Sauna.
Sauna.
Sauna. Everybody going to the sauna?
I'm also going to the sauna now, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to find the kitchen.
Right,
Oh,
find
just
the
an
kitchen.
empty room.
Yeah. So it is the next layer down, which is effectively like the first floor, and it is basically just like there's like knives and stuff about, and like it's like a generally like kitchen-y kind of room, and then there is like there's like a slightly big cauldron with like a fire underneath that seems to just be ever burning.
Okay.
But it's like the floor just above the sauna.
I'd like to just at least try to somewhat cook some of this there.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you roll a say a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just
Wisdom.
click.
Huge.
Oh, that's the same thing.
I mean,
yeah.
it's the
That's
same
nat
thing,
20.
yeah.
Is
Nat
it?
20.
Oh,
You all see
that's-
you will see your lovely Goliath friend walk over to a chopping board, grab like just a random cleaver and then just chop this thing into like one chop every cut, right? And he cuts it up into several different pieces. And you see him just like randomly chucking things into the pot. You see like there's a bunch of spices that he puts in. He walks up and he like just borrows like a bit of like a rum or something from someone, it seems like, puts it into the thing and then just gives it back. And after literally within like 15 or so minutes, he puts it all into the pot, and then you kind of pause for a second and go, come back in a couple hours, this would probably be really fucking tasty.
Just full on Michelin chef like moment.
Just becomes a Michelin
Like
star
he
chef.
does the moment of just like a little bit of sprinkle of
Just
this,
fully
little-
salt bays it.
fully salt bays it. There's a moment where he's not even looking, and you see him like pick up an entire like ball of something, pop it open, and just throw it over his shoulder, and a bunch of powder just lands in it. And then then he's like, yeah, that's good enough. I'm off.
And-
Cool.
It turns out it's the big bad. It's just Ratatouille.
Ah, yes, the bald clef around his head.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Possessed by a
It's
ghost.
just in his beard.
Okay, cool. But yes, you all make your way down to the sauna afterwards, and it is like, so it's a sauna with a hot tub in the sauna. Okay, Scott, your next roll has a 1d4 against it. Unfortunate.
Rough. Thanks, Vince.
But like as you kind of come down into this room, there is like a hot tub that's built into the floor along one side, and the hot tub, one of the ends seems to be like bubbling to the point that it heats it's heating the entire room up. You see under the like water, there is a visible like red flame that seems to just be burning, like boiling up the water on that end. There's like a bunch of like seats around the room of just like it looks like this place like mostly seems to be made of like black marble with like a light white lining along most of it, and there seems to be just like adjacent to that there's like a vague room for changing. There's like two of them. One of them has like a little sign above it that's like men's, one of them has a sign that has women's kind of
I
deal.
literally just slip
Oh.
the toga off my left shoulder and walk in.
Yep.
Sylph just pulls clothes off down to his undies and then walks in. So I was gone for almost 2 weeks. By the end of it, I was walking back to Swiftway in my tiny whities.
Oh, I have a similar story, except it involves heavy skid marks.
Oh,
Would not recommend gambling with dirty merchants. That's for sure.
Oh, I haven't done business with those, I'm afraid, but maybe on our travels. Hey, Sylph?
Perhaps.
The rest of you, are you entering the sauna and / or the fucking my brain has malfunctioned hot tub?
I don't.
Mhm.
I stay outside.
You stay outside. Okay.
I pick up the clothes off the floor, put them in a basket.
Yep. Easy
I
enough.
enter the sauna and just sit down somewhere.
Scott, when
Fully
you
clothed.
pick up Henry's like toga, when you drop it, all the other clothes fall quite fast, but Henry's toga is just pure silk, so it just floats down on top of the on top of the clothes.
Mhm.
Didn't notice that. Sorry.
Mr. Davith, what about you?
Am I not cooking?
Well, it takes you like a good like 5 or so minutes
Oh.
to prepare, but it's like you're actually really fast at preparing it, and then you're like, yeah, no, I can just leave it for a couple hours and then we're good.
That's
Nice slow
I'll
cooked
just-
venison.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
wait on there. I'll just stay out.
Okay, cool.
Mm, it's gonna fall
Um,
off the bone.
So yes, Fate and Eldrin. Is there anything specific? So Eldrin, you're going into the sauna, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Fate, is there any specific thing you'd like to do?
I remember that David didn't come down and he just split off. So I go to find David.
You do find him the floor above, just currently cooking away, sat there watching the cooking, I guess.
I look at him. What are you doing? Okay.
Possessed. In the process of cooking.
just waiting. Just
This is
deep
why
thought.
your father is more interesting. And I turn around and I go down.
Virian, what about
Fucking
you?
wrecked.
He'll walk in, but he's fully clothed.
Yeah, staying fully clothed and with the mask on.
And he'll just find somewhere to sit down and just sit down.
You want to
Easy
see
enough.
something cool? Henry,
I'm bored out of my fucking mind. Of course, I want to see something cool.
going to prestidigitation a storm cloud over his head and have ice cold water drop down onto the top of his head and over his shoulders.
Oh, cunt! You fucking cunt!
Listen. It's for a good reason. It's because if you sit in a hot tub and have extremely cold water poured on you, you can go into cardiac arrest. And then the cloud disappears.
Okay, so we're less than half of a session. Well, we're basically 1 hour into this campaign, and we've already had one player try to give another player cardiac arrest.
Mhm.
Amazing.
The other one's trying to fuck him.
Jeez, why is it so loud all of a sudden? Thank you for the sub, Ari. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. It's just like, all of the other ones is like very quiet. I want to die. And then as soon as his sub popped, it was just like, oh, and I'm just like, okay. But yes. So, is there anything specific you'd like to do over the next couple hours? Everybody.
I prestidigitation a poo cloud coming out from Sylph.
Oh.
I smell like poo.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The water around you smells like poo.
Alright. I prestidigitation to clean the poo cloud.
Touche, my friend, touche.
Level 1 mage battle, go.
Oh.
Just cantrips.
Just cantrips. Love to see it.
What the fuck do you think they're doing up there?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Anyone? Any ideas? Anyone here going to be useful?
Just every now and again, I walk out just to check on it.
You know, Henry, I have a friend that you probably like quite a lot.
Oh yes.
Yes. Her name is Astalia. I think you two would get along quite well. She's also a sun elf.
Well, you're assuming you're a taco, not hot dog.
I did not mean sexually.
Oh. Well,
I just meant a
usually
friend.
when people try and say they have someone who would be good for them, it's usually in a sec. I couldn't tell if you were trying to wingman me or not. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you meant
No,
as
you're
a friend.
you're both just and I mean this in the kindest way possible. Massive cunts.
Ah. Well, I'll take it as a compliment. Have you noticed how every single teleportation spell in this realm looks like a vagina?
I had not until this very
Well,
moment.
now you will never not see it, and you're welcome for that.
Wonderful.
I come back listening to that conversation and I immediately turn around and go upstairs.
What's her problem?
Drug.
Just cooking myself in the sauna.
You're just melting in full clothes. In fact, make me a Constitution saving throw. We're gonna use that D4.
Hang on. Do I get advantage because of something that I'm gonna send to you right now?
Oh god. Whoop. Where is
That
it?
advantage? It's in GM.
Sure.
Who's
So-
actually like enjoying themselves in the sauna right now? Is it just me and Sylph?
I'm just sitting there.
He's just sat there as well.
I'm just deep in
Sat there
thought of
in
how I've
clothes.
how
At this point, I'm just staring around,
Well,
pretending not to listen.
Notably, we're varying degrees of clothed as well because you're completely naked. Sylph has just underwear on, and then Mars Boy over here is fully clothed.
Yeah.
In a mask.
Yeah, with a 16, you kind of sit there, and it seems rather than it like these clothes hindering you, it seems like the heat isn't really getting through the clothes, and you seem pretty like you're kind of so cocooned that you're actually pretty cold in your clothes, and it's kind of confusing.
Full on microclimate inside
Yeah.
that.
I can imagine you two just taking bets now when I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. But yes, anything else you guys would like to do over the course of the next few hours?
I'd probably get bored, not towel up or anything, just walk out the sauna.
Yep.
Look for a butler, try and get some more drinks or and see how the food's coming along at
I
some point.
brought a whole bottle in with us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'd have gone through. We've been in there for a couple of hours. That's not going to last.
That's
that
true.
long.
Yeah, you would.
I'll go get some more every time I'll like drunkenly stagger to go get more alcohol every time we run out.
Easily enough. Okay. About 2 hours after you guys have finally settled down, you all do indeed hear a rather loud sound from a lot higher up the tower. And then after a little while, you hear like the footsteps coming down, and then some laughing. As you guys finally get to as you've collected all of your stuff again, we'll pause for a second because Davith, bro, this food, you take a taste and like you pull out like a fine little chunk of venison, and this may be the best meal you've ever had.
Just that good.
Genuinely.
It's all mine.
I mean, I guess yeah. You just start going at it with like a ladle, just.
Mhm.
But
Make sure
you don't even tell anyone about it at all.
I mean, you go past the kitchen, right? You'll be able to.
Yeah.
Would I have smelt it?
You can indeed smell it. Like you can smell it from the sauna. Like the smell.
I'd let my nose carry myself in, and I'd make sure Sylph is coming with me as well.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I get if people are convening in the kitchen, maybe,
I'll show up then as well.
or whatever the room was that was being used to cook.
I think it was the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, it was a kitchen.
I hope
That was
it
the toilet.
Yeah,
It's just
it was a
cooked in the
kitchen.
toilet.
Sylph is just standing there in his underwear, just eating the venison, dripping wet.
I'm just going through cupboards looking for my own food. I'm not touching that filthy fucking.
Okay, roll
Probably
me an
not even free
investigation check.
ranged.
What about Fate and Eldrin? Are you joining the rest in the kitchen?
I'm checking
I-
back on Bob.
Okay.
I go back to the kitchen, but this time I have no interest in speaking with David again.
Okay.
How close together is the kitchen? Because I imagine, because I've been sat in the sauna for 2 hours, my clothes must fucking burn whoever touches it.
Yeah, Scott never saw us leave because it's so like fogged up in there.
Yeah, no, like as you do leave, you do like literally the rest of you see him very visibly steaming. Like there is a very visible, like almost smoke trail he's leaving behind as he's walking around. But he seems completely fine somehow. But yeah, Eldrin, you make your way back up to the to Bob the Troll, like his little like lair, I guess, and you find Bob the Troll is stood there, like kind of looking at two bottles, and he is like staring at them, and in front of him you see Laura Glath looking at him and going, well, what do these two do then? Well, I think this one is meant to explode, and this one is meant to be seasoning. But I could have them mixed up. And you see Laura Glath kind of pause for a second, and then go, I could try both of them. I don't think it will make you explode if you drink it, but it won't be pleasant. I'll give it a try. And he takes both of them and then he drinks one. And you just see him like pause for a second and then big burp as like a plume of smoke comes out of his mouth for a second. And he goes, "That was the pleasant one, right?" And Bob goes, "I think so." And then he takes the other one and drinks it and goes, "Tastes like piss." Huh, I think that was meant to be the pleasant one then. Huh. Good work, Bob. And then he begins making, like, he pats him on the back and goes, "Oh, hello, Eldrin. How are you doing?"
Hello, Loroglath. I came to check on Bob because I think he's drunk.
"You're not drunk, are you, Bob?" You see Bob is like cross-eyed. But no, don't think so. There's 3 of you though. He goes, he'll be fine. He's a big troll. Can't kill him too easily. Right, Bob? And Bob goes, "Yeah." And then he goes, "See?" And then he just like, you see he has like a maul on his shoulder and he just slams it into Bob's like he pulls it off his back and it's like a large like hammer effective, like it's like a large like mace hammer thing. It's really fucking big. And he just whacks Bob in the hand and it just it just crushes the entire arm off in one swing.
And
Bob
Bob's
goes,
10 feet in the floor.
yeah, and he's like just into the floor and Bob's like, "Oh, a glass, not again, man." And you see his arm just like kind of vaguely is like trying to find its way around and then slowly crawls his way back to him and then he like flings it back on and you see his body like slowly connect his arm back to his like shoulder. "See, he's fine."
Henry puts down the plate of food he was just eating.
But yeah, and then as that happens, you see coming down the stairs, it seems like the majority of the other adults are making their way down the stairs. You hear, not only you currently, Eldrin, you hear Valera go, "And you know, the last time I found him, he seemed to be like shacking up again with someone else. What am I going to do with this boy?" And you hear Tharandor go, "Well, I know. Every time he just... so many people. I don't know what it is with him. I keep telling him he has to be a little bit more prideful, but I think it's just the alcohol. It gets to him when he's drunk. You know, he just goes off with anybody. Very odd." And you just see like your father behind them going, I can totally... "Eldrin, how are you?"
Oh, hello, father.
"You enjoying
So,
yourself?"
what happened up there?
You know, long conversation. And you just see Valeria go, "Very boring conversation. You know, just Tempest business. Nothing too big, I don't think." You see Esmeralda behind them, like, pause for a second and goes, "Are you guys going to be making your way down now, or are you going to just clog up the way?" Valera goes, "Fine, give us a second. I'm walking... whatever. We'll see you soon. We're all going out for a little bit. You need somebody, I guess, talk to Corfel." She just begins walking down. You see the rest of the Tempests basically pass you guys. And behind them, you do indeed see Corfel kind of stood there, kind of like... he has a kind of a concerned look on his face. As he gets to you, he goes, "Eldrin, where are the others?"
Well, cover, you're not gonna like it.
They all, I assume they've raided my alcohol, but, anything... what is it I'm not going to like, then?
Screams from downstairs as well and then brushes me.
I hope that answers your question, Corful.
That sounds about right. Come with me. I think it's about time we all have a meeting as well. And he just begins walking his way downstairs. The rest of you do indeed see the Black Tempests all make their way to the first, to the first layer, like where the kitchen is. You see, as you get there, most of the food is like you've managed to get through, and your dad walks down the stairs first, goes to looks at you, takes a good sniff, and then pauses and goes, "Oh, that smells good."
Oh, it tastes good too.
He walks up and he just grabs the entire cauldron, and you just see him. A little bit spills along the sides of his his chin, and then he just finishes, and then just wipes his face and goes, "I haven't had food like that in months. Oh, good work, good work."
I just look. It's like sad and disappointed as he's just eating it all.
You still have like a ladle full left, and that's it.
That's campaign arc over for Davith now. He's just Master Chef.
Just
He's
literally,
Master Chef.
yeah.
Level 4, he takes the chef feat.
Yeah.
Well, you see the rest of the Tempests are beginning to make their way behind him. We're going to go out on the town. Maybe I can catch you another deer and you can make another meal like that. And he pats you on the back. As he does, he pats, the pat pushes you like a good, couple feet, and you almost stumble for a second, but you manage to hold yourself. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
To see if you can keep that ladle worth of food in
No.
the ladle. No!
No.
You try and keep the ladle worth of food in the ladle, and
Wait.
it just...
You hear. I'll give him inspiration.
Sure, roll a
Whips it at guitar.
d6.
So you can roll another d6 and add it to it.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So is that just a
Yeah.
roll?
There's me just playing post-dinner tunes, and you just hear it from down the hall.
Oh, huge.
Oh,
You get
probably still not enough.
the majority of the liquid falls out, but you manage to keep one big chunk of deer with a little bit of liquid still left there. As the liquid pulls out, he goes, "Oh, sorry about that. See you soon." And you see him just walk past you, open the door, and duck to slide himself through this door and make his way out.
I'm going to cherish this chunk. You just see me just eat it slowly and savor every bite.
Big nibbles. The rest of the the group, the Tempests, begin making their way down. As they pass, you see Tharandor. As they pass, and Henry, who's I believe on the wine level currently, with Sylph. Is this correct?
Yeah, me and Sylph are having our summer fling.
Mm-hmm. As they pass, you see Tharandor goes, "Any good wine?"
None for you.
Disappointing. You see,
Father, you have plenty at home. Don't be so spoiled, Father. That's what you'd be telling me.
Yes, but I was hoping that Awful would have us with some good stuff for the next couple of days.
Here's the only bottle of non-troll piss here. Take this. I'll just pass him some elegant elvish wine.
He takes a look. He opens it very briefly, takes a smell, and then goes, "Ugh, disgusting. This is." I guess it's the best we're going to
smell
do.
like poop.
And your point?
Oh, I'm just stating a fact.
You do. You smell like shit.
You smell like shit. I'm gonna press a dissertation him to smell like shit.
Tharandor hands you the bottle and then puts a finger on his nose and goes, "We're going out for the night. If you need us, well, talk to Corfel." And he just walks off.
I don't even
yeah.
say anything. I just like put my hand up and go back to looking at the wine bottles and
Valera-
cast prestidigitation to not stink.
Of course. Valera like makes like doesn't say anything as she passes by, looks you in the eye, self, and just goes as she's walking by.
Mother! Arms up in the air. Hello!
She just ignores you and just walks off.
I'm making friends with Henry. Oh, bye-bye, mother.
as Sylph's mum walks past, Henry arches over a little bit further to reach the bottom shelf of the wine, sticking his ass up in the air just a little bit.
Lovely.
Don't get yourselves killed. And she walks off. The rest of the
Don't get yourself killed.
Sylph, your mother is fucking fit.
Yes, so I've heard. I don't see it. She's kind of a bitch.
Fuck's sake. But yes, after that, the rest of the Tempests make their way down. They kind of all like they kind of pass you without saying much. Corful, with Eldrin following, sees you two and goes, "Oh, you're quite drunk."
Hello.
Quite drunk. I think we're appropriately drunk.
Very
Drunk,
good
Corful.
drunk, I would say.
I think it's just right. Wouldn't you say, Sylph?
I say it's just right as well, my friend.
Well, I'd like to have a meeting with all of you. If you'd go upstairs.
Yep.
Meeting
Just
room.
standing up, still
Right.
half naked. Ready?
Me? Oh, I haven't put my toga back on yet. I've just been naked this whole time.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But yeah, he just begins walking back downstairs. He makes his way down to the lair where... Wait, where exactly would you have been during this time?
I was just in the kitchen, like
Mhm.
looking at David and his dad, but then I followed them up.
Okay. So, David is making... Is David making his way up? Yep.
Yep.
Oh no, okay.
Very disgruntled about
Mhm.
losing.
Yeah. You begin making your way up, and you basically... You two... Virian, where are you at exactly? Where would you want to be?
I was just like hovering in the kitchen as well,
So you'd make your way up as well.
just
I guess.
exuding steam.
Cool. Exuding steam. You kind of almost bump into Corful as he's making his way down, and he goes, "Oh, wonderful. Follow me, if you would, ladies and gentlemen."
Okay, everyone, get your shit together. We're gonna go meeting with the elf man. He's white. The white elf man.
I want to have just sped ahead and gotten to the meeting room quick before
Yep.
everyone.
Easy enough.
And just silent image, a nice meal of venison laid out on the table, beautifully prepared, very very similar to the one that may have just been consumed. Just lay that out on the table with an illusion. That's all.
Okay, easy enough. Corfel leads the rest of you all up. You get there. There is a nice apparent meal of venison on the table. And he kind of, as he gets there, he kind of looks for a second and looks confused. Didn't order any food.
Okay, everyone, right this way. Right, just follow me. I'm waving my arms in the air. Come on, guys, this way.
Henry's
Stumbling.
just sat down at the table, just chewing on something.
He sits down, arms crossed, and then just like kind of sit. He just seems to just sit there for a second, expecting you guys all to like sit down or something.
I will take a seat.
Gonna stumble over and take a seat.
I'll stand up.
I slowly walk over and take a seat.
Take a seat.
Amazing. All of you except Fate take a seat. Fate remains standing. He kind of looks at you for a second and then just goes, whatever. Part of the reason the rest of them collected you here, well, the part of the reason I collected you all here is because they're... How do I put this? He kind of looks over, like, absent-mindedly off into the distance for a second. Doesn't seem to be looking to grab any of the venison, by the way. He's just not really paying too much attention to it.
Sylph is reaching across the table, trying to grab the venison. Regardless of if his hand goes through it, he's still just like pawing at the table. It's like, it keeps moving. Why is it not cooked? It's still alive.
You see, he
I
just...
like because it's I can control it and move it slightly. I'm just gonna like move bowls away from his hand as he goes for them.
Slams his head straight into the table. Oh, oh.
And on that, I make it disappear. It's
yeah,
gone.
it's all gone.
Guys,
The reason
Listen,
I collected
listen. Cortho, there's a disappearing venison, and I need to know where it went.
you... I'm not sure where it went.
It's a mystery that we'll have to solve. We're on the case, Cortho. Don't worry.
Speaking of cases, I guess. The reason I wanted to collect not just your parents here. Firstly, I thought it'd be nice to get to see you all again. And
Yes,
it
get on with it, Corful.
would be.
We're here. We're here.
The Black Tempests haven't been
Tempest.
working for a while. And get the feeling that Blackridge may need a new set of heroes. It's a vague feeling, and he kind of pauses for a second, and you see he like doesn't make eye contact with any of you for the entire time. It's just a feeling, mostly. But at the very least, the prince has asked if there was anybody who might be able to, you know, fill in that role. And
Investigating under the table and around the room while this is happening.
sure, roll investigation.
I have to move my feet out of the way for Sylph.
Yeah. I thought you guys would be the best fit, considering you are all, you know, children of the Tempests or something like that. What do you guys think of that? While you are, like, taking a look around, you just find, like, there's, under this table, there's just a bunch of books. Like, stacked up, just under the table. Loads of them. Lots of papers as
No
well.
venison?
No venison.
Curiouser and curiouser.
And what's in it for us?
I mean, experience, I guess. You'll get to hang around your parents and see what they do to some extent, and get to do some good in the world. Also, I mean, the prince is potentially willing to pay for some of this stuff, depending on what you guys actually end up doing.
Thank you. I was about to ask that question. What was the the funding and the supplies and any missions were going on? Who's supplying all that?
Pretty much. I mean, some of it will be the prince if he requires you to do things. He'll ask you to do them, I guess. Otherwise, it's effectively up to you for the most part, I guess. I might be able to help out with some things here and there. About it, I think. And obviously, if you do what we used to do, plunder some places, I don't know, caves, old temples, the like. Whatever you get, it's yours to keep.
Right, and we don't have any say in who we're going with. This is the team, I assume.
I mean, I assume this would make the best team, but if you had any other ideas...
This bunch, adventuring party.
Well, I don't... They're a little bit unrefined, but we were at one point as well.
Sylph slams his head into the bottom of the table. And he's like, oh, I found it! I found it! And then he slams a book down on the top of the table as he stands up. He's like, look! Spins the book around, and it's titled, it's just a children's book, and it's called The Missing Deer. I found it.
Can I
Everyone
take the book
just-
and throw it at his head?
I sigh loudly.
Audible sigh.
Can you roll me a strength check? Mr. Davis?
Strength check.
Yes, to throw it at his head.
So Is it? Wait. It's
You click
this
the
one.
word strength.
What?
You go to throw it at his head, and instead of throwing the book, you like you didn't realize that the spine of the book isn't really attached to any of the papers in it, and you kind of just you completely miss him with the spine of the book, and all of the papers just go flying over the table.
Mystery solved. Sit back down. Crothel, you're
Yes, maybe stick to the
welcome.
cooking there, Davith.
I see your mild issues with it, but I think this would probably be good for all of you. At least I hope. Your parents seem to agree as well. But we're not going to send you out into the field just yet. We have a couple of practice runs planned to get you a bit more into the groove. And they wanted to teach you some stuff as well. They've decided that it'd be nice to go back out the town like they used to. I was never much for any of that, so I'm sticking around here.
Alani.
I have no idea what that's meant to be.
It's cool.
I am not opposed to this idea. I'd be happy to partake in it.
Okay.
I'm visibly rather pleased.
Let's do it.
Just
Look,
is
if
it?
there's money and poon involved, I'm there.
Interesting. Okay. I cannot confirm that it'd be the second half, but money potentially, yes.
There's
Are we getting
always
some poon?
poon
Henry,
tank
we're
waffle.
getting some poon?
There's always poon tank waffle. Don't you worry about that.
Don't particularly think I want to be continuing this part of the conversation. Eldrin, fate. What
We're
have
all
you?
grown-ups here.
I'm always down to hone in on my skills. If I get any practice, it's great.
That's nice. Good.
I look at Corfel, still in confusion. Then you say, unrefined. Be sure to be more specific for next time.
Hmm,
And I
yes.
flip my hair and just sit.
You're not quite as magically strong as your mother is. That's all I meant by it. Still a ways to go, but everybody has to start somewhere, don't they? And while your parents may have to return to their lives eventually, I'll be here in the tower, as I always am, if you ever require my help. I assume you all remember Bob. He's still around.
Yes, unfortunately.
He's not that bad. Did I ever
He
tell you the
stinks.
He does stink, but did I ever tell you the story of how we met Bob?
No, you didn't, but I'm sure you're going to bore us with it anyway.
I mean, if you're not interested in the story, I'll not bother. It's all good by me. Get back to my books.
Go on, tell the story. How'd you meet Bob?
You see
Got
him.
nothing better to do anyway.
You see a smile
Yeah,
kind
so
of
see like
across his face. Well, they said there was a monster down in the sewers, and obviously the rest were like, "Oh yes, time to kill a monster." And then we got down there, and we fought Bob for a long time. Actually, he just kept coming back. Like we destroyed almost all of him, and then he kept. It really confused Laura Glath. He was just rushing Bob repeatedly, over and over and over again, and we just couldn't figure out how to kill him. And eventually, we just got bored of killing him. He kind of sat with us as we were sat there bored, and was like, "How are you guys Are you guys okay? You guys had a really hard time there." And we were just like, "Wait, why are you not trying to kill us?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I didn't want to kill anybody in the first place. I just enjoyed it down here." And we were like, "Wait, why? Didn't you kill people or anything?" And it's like, "No, I just kind of ate some rats that were down here, big rats." And then we were like, "Oh, that's odd." And then over a couple of years, he ended up helping us build most of the sewer system in the city again. Cleared out the sewer system every once in a while. He does that still every once in a while. And then I eventually employed him here. He's something of an alchemist, it seems. Quite likes potions. Never would have thought it.
Well, at least you've made a use out of it.
He's quite useful, I'd say. Definitely, he's a good friend. An honorary Tempest, but I don't think we'd take him out into the field at any point.
Mm.
He does have a tendency to get absolutely demolished extremely quickly in the fight. So I mean, mostly you can blame Laura Glath on that. He has a tendency to also just beat the shit out of Bob for the sake of it.
So you're telling me I can go and attack Bob and he won't do anything about it?
Probably. He's a bit of a gentle soul.
Henry's already up and out the door.
That was not a smart
I-
thing to tell him.
No.
Very audibly ask, can I hit him?
I guess, yes.
Let's not go beat up Bob. And I'm
Let's-
following Henry.
If you're going
I
to
mean-
hold on, if you're going to
I
beat up Bob, don't do it in his alchemy room. I'd rather you do it somewhere else. The training floor,
You hear-
the floor above, the training floor.
You hear from the other room. Are you always stupid, or are you making a special effort today? And I cast vicious mockery.
Oh, you see him. Wait, is that what save is it?
It is.
Oh,
There you go.
fuck.
DC 14 Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw. Or love to see it. Give me a second.
Damn,
You
Fuck.
see him. You see him just like look at you for a second, very confused, and goes, "I don't think I'm that stupid, but there are 3 of you right now."
No, you're not a
Yeah.
complete idiot. Some parts are obviously missing, and I cast it again.
Oh my god! Roll again.
1 damage.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Give me a
hoping
second.
that 20s.
Well, this is just pick him up, take him to the next floor.
You see him like you see him like detach his arm as you see it's not fully reattached again, and he's like, that was quite hurtful of you, Henry.
Sylph stumbles in as this happens, and he's like, "Bada bang!" and then casts lightning lore.
Oh my god. You see, you go, bada bang, and it just like attaches onto only his arm and pulls it off, and he's like, "Oh, is this what we're doing? All right." And you see David walks over and just like picks him up. He's like, "Okay, fine. Take us to the training floor. That's fine."
He already knows.
You like just carry him to the training floor.
Yeah.
He just like, okay, he walks over, and you see there's like a big red X just like drawn on the training floor, and he stands there and he goes, "All right, do your worst."
Who's up first? I've had my turn.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna stumble over. I'm sorry, big guy.
Who
I'm
else is
sorry.
here? Who else is here?
Give him a hug
My
and cast shocking grasp.
You give him a hug, and then you on his back just bzz, and you see like you get like a sticky hand as you touch his back, but like you just feel feeling for a second, and then he goes, "Oh, so that one, okay." Your mum
just
liked to
knows.
do that one. That was yeah.
Fall back cackling. He's on the ground.
You see his
Cackling like
like
a little
you
child.
smell like a nasty kind of burnt hair smell for a second.
Hey, suck him.
Punch him.
Oh my god. What about you then?
Bob, I'd insult your parents, but you probably don't know who they are.
Oh.
There you go. Vicious mockery again.
what the fuck?
This is a vicious mockery. This is just killing him.
Oh. I mean, that's true. They kind of abandoned me. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to feel bad for him.
No, go and hit him. Don't be a pussy. Go and hit him, damn it. Go on, have your fun.
Okay. It's just walking.
You just like pull out your maul and you go to whack him, and it just hits into like his like other shoulder that seems to be relatively like, you see like while it's slimy, it seems to have like a toughness to it, and you hit it, but it doesn't seem to like impact it very much, and it kind of mostly slides off the sliminess. He goes, "Oh, you're gonna hit me. You might want to hit me in the chest." Your dad tends to aim for the shoulder if he's trying to take my arm off, but otherwise you aim for the chest to get the most effort in.
I will go, Bob, lay down, and I'll cast command.
Wisdom again?
DC 14, yeah. Or it might be charisma.
He just and he slowly puts himself so his face is laying on the floor. He's starfish.
Oh my god, he's fucking 0. That one.
Roll,
my
all of
gosh.
everybody who's in the room, roll a perception check.
Is that-
Oh,
Oh, not 20.
nice. Okay. Sylph, you kind of don't really notice anything in your drunken stupor.
He's laying down next to me, so I'm
Yeah.
just shocking grasp him again.
Fuck's sake.
You got advantage this time.
Yeah. You do shock him and he goes, "Oh," as you do that.
You just spasms on the floor.
The second
Oh
one,
my
you just
God.
completely like slide your hand along the gooiness and your
No,
hand
no,
just
the
completely-
second one was for advantage.
Oh, advantage, yeah. Okay. Yes. Fucking brain Henry, as you're like looking at him, you see there's like a single like gooey tear like making its way down his eye. And then Davith, as you like see, you also see the gooey tear, but then you also see like the briefest of small smiles on his face.
Oh my god, he's into it.
He's just like he just seems to be and he just kind of nods as he's on the floor.
Oh my god, he's into it. I'll just eat a dagger and see my body's on
Go
the
on then.
floor. I'm sorry, I can't. I
Go
need to
on
just get out. I'm just getting out of my system rage.
Do it.
Wow, I think
You
that.
go to eat the
10.
dagger and it kind of just
You have
bounces
disadvantage
off his
'cause he's
back.
prone.
Yeah, he's also
Oh,
prone.
true.
Yeah, it just bounces off his back. He goes, and as you do that, he goes, you know, it kind of feels like old times. This.
Good boy, Bob. Good boy. Okay, I'm bored.
Look at him bang!
Oh my god.
He's on the floor, and you try to like, you lightning lure him, and you just basically like pull him towards you a little bit, and he goes, as
my
he's
God.
sliding across the floor.
Once he's real close, I'm gonna whisper in his ear. "Thank you very much, you're a good boy." And pat him on the head and stand up.
Yikes.
You get like a sticky hand as you pat him on the head. But like as you're doing this, you do notice that where like you see visible damage appear on his body as you hit him, it's slow, like his skin and his flesh just like very quickly reknits itself. And it doesn't seem like it's more than like a nuisance to him so far.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. He loves it.
He's just okay with it for the most part. As you guys like do that, the rest of you are in the room with Corful, which is the other three.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He goes, well,
The nerds.
enjoy yourself for the night, I guess. We'll meet back here tomorrow morning. I'll say, I'm gonna pause this for a second. You see his eyes kind of like shimmer with light for a second, and then he goes, like, when the sun rises over and you see a window just appear over the castle, and you see the castle is like next to the tower, and you see that currently the moon is just peeking over it. About then, something like that. Otherwise, you know, I'd say not to leave the tower while the others are in this state. Specifically because Valera would kill me. Definitely would kill me. What was I saying? Yes, tomorrow morning. We'll meet up, okay?
Understood, Lord Corval.
He kind of
Take a bow and leave.
kind of gets up and then goes, oh, your room's up. There should be a room enough that there should be a bed for you and your parent in one floor each, I think. You go up. You go up, you'll find it. And with that, you just see him, like he kind of like does like a quick incantation, and this like very brief portal appears next to him, and he just like falls himself into it, and then it disappears behind him.
Oh boy. Well, I'm leaving to go to my room.
All right. Anything else anybody would like to do?
Drunkenly stumble to a bed
Easy enough.
at some point.
I want to claim the furthest away room.
All right. But yes, you guys all get to your rooms. Your parents eventually, at some point, probably early in the morning, make their way to a room as well. And that is where we are going to end the session for now.
Are the rooms
No!
got locks on them?
The rooms do indeed. They do not have locks on them, it seems, actually. It does not seem
Okay.
like that.
Is there like chairs in the room?
You would. Yeah, there's chairs in the room.
Okay, I used the chair.
Chair.
I
to
blocked the door with a chair.
Yeah, I blocked my door with a chair and then
Oh.
put my mask off.
But yeah. Cool. But this is where we are going to end the session, mostly just because I would like to have stuff planned for next week from now. This seems like a good place to stop for the moment. I'm
Yeah.
also starving. That's nice.
Same.
Can I at least? No, it's fine.
What are you going to do? Sorry?
I just messaged you about it.
Alright, that's
on
cool.
World's Fun.
Cool. But yes, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. We'll catch you with episode 2 of Tales of the Tempest. Woo!
Bang,
Alright.
bang.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye
Au
bye.
revoir.